So this is my Rosales, and I'm going to show how to start a standardized details for CAD. In this case, I'm using the DFD details that they provide in their web page. So what you're looking into in the screen is all the DFD details that I could uh, recopulate using this page. So I came here to this page and went one specification by specification, and then downloaded all the CAD that they provided. So now I have like this big amount of details with the different divisions. I already made the division 31, 33, and 32. So now I'm going to show you the process to start division 23. So what I want to accomplish after the final of this video is we will have to have something similar to this, where on one side of the drawing we will have the same detail but adapted with the standards that we have in Bloom, using that detail as the reference and manipulating and improving with our own standards, so we can modify or update or do maintenance to this drawing in a more efficient way. So first, my first recommendation is to recopulate or to find all the drawings that you want to be manipulating, that you want to have as a base date. So yeah, put together all the details into a single file, and in this case, because I'm going to concentrate only on the division 23, I'm going to save this, save as division 23. Wait a second. So I'm going to use one of these names, division 23 DFD. So now that I have it, I have a copy of all my drawings, all my details. I'm going to delete all those that I don't need for this exercise. So I'm deleting all like this, and suppose I'm deleting all except for the division 23 and this that I did already put together, this division 31, and this is the example of the lines or of the multi-letters or text that I want. So I'm going to clean it up and I'll be back. Okay, so I just cleaned the all the details that were on this drawing, so I just kept the division 23 details and the example of the division 31 that I'm referring, and I will take as a base. So the first thing that I'm going to do, and this is really important, as you will see later, is make a copy of this division. I will select all of them, make a copy of them, and place it just aside of where the original R. So now what I'm going to do is select again the details that I want to change to our specific standards, and from the properties dialog box, remember you can press Ctrl 1 to activate it. Well, from here, the first thing that I'm going to do is make sure that in the general sub area, make sure that color is set by layer. As a standard, as a procedure, as a best practices is have everything by layer. The layer, obviously, every layer depends on its own. The line type, I need to place it by layer as well. Line type scale could vary, but the line weight should not. Should be defined by its layer. So there you go. And now I just change all these objects in the middle using that property. And I start to make changes. I don't know how much difference are we going to find on these details, but I need, for example, this one already changed a little bit. This is yellow and this is not. So we need to have the original ones to have as a reference, so we can compare, because we are changing these details into a more into our standards. So we could break, or we could do something that could be difficult for us to remember how that detail should be look. So that's why that is the why we need the original details, so we can fix it if we move something or made a modification that affect the visualization of that detail. Okay, now after we modify all the generals and set it that by layer, then we will select again all the details that we want to change to adapt to all our standards. Then in the same dialog box, we will go object by object, changing different properties. In this case, the first one that we have here is rotated dimension. We have 16 objects like that, and what I'm going to do is, for dimensions, for all the dimensions, we will have to change the layer to CANNO text. This one. Then we will change the theme style. So because I already have the fixed details, all these properties, all these styles are in the jar. So you just have to select it. So make sure that you bring before starting this task, you bring all the styles that you require. And okay, that is for the rotated dimension. And in general, for all dimensions, you need to change the layer and the dimension style. So I will do the same for block reference. Let's go on and see what's happening with this. With block reference, the only thing that we need to take care is its position in, in the C elevation, in the C coordinates. It needs to be on 0. Okay, next object, solids. We don't do anything to solids really. Usually solids are, in this kind of drawings, are because a hatch was converted from a multi-liter, sorry, and the arrow was converted to a solid. Usually we delete the solids, but we'll see that later. For the lines, you have to verify that its elevation is none, so it's 0, even with the start C coordinate or the end C coordinate. Multi-text, M-text. So for this one, we will have to change the layer, the same, C and alt text. And the style. And this is going to be a really drastic change, because I'm going to say all the text is going to be into this style. I know that that could not be a good change, because maybe that text, maybe it is a subtitle, maybe it is a title, or maybe it represents a sign with this style that requires to be represented in a sign. But that's the reason that we have the original on one side, so we can compare it if we made a mistake. But usually the majority of this text needs to be in this style. I will say maybe 95% of these objects. And multi-text in this specific case is 438. So it's best to change it right now, and then if you made a mistake, you will see it and you will fix it. But in the long term, it's gonna be fastest. So the style here's the option, and we will select this Romance 0.125. Again, position C, position in the C coordinate must be 0. Next, hatches. Well, hatches, they have to be on this specific layer for themselves, that is called C detail hatch. CDETL hatch. It's right here. And double check that its elevation is 0. Ellipses. The only thing that we need to take care is that the elevation is not other than 0. 0 here on the center C. Ellipses text. For text, again, we will have the layer to C and text. Then again, check that the C coordinate is 0, and the style, the same assumption or the same procedure with that we did with the multi-text, Romance 0.125. So now circles. For circles, we are going to do the only the geometry. We just need to check that it is on the zero elevation multiletters. Um, for multiletters, if they are in a they have an elevation because for any reason they were drawn on a certain elevation. There is a list routine that I have, so you can change that automatically. All the multiletters and paste it into the zero elevation. I will place a link to that, and I think it is already on the on the civil training uh, that we have as a civil group. Okay, but for the multiletters, they have uh, their own settings. First, the layer again, because it's an annotation object, we have to go to see annotation text. Okay, for the multiletters, we have to change additionally of the layer. We have to change the style, and the style that you have to select is DFD normal. That's it for multiletters. Let's keep moving. Point. Point is just the position. It should be 0. Arc as well should be only the position. Should be 0. To the polylines will not be here, but just in case that you find this, again, just the elevation. And all these properties that you have to change, I have, there is an SOP document where you can find the properties that you need to change for every object. That should be in the same folder that this video is. Letters. Letters is a dimension object, so we have to change the theme style. In this case, should be DFD normal. This one, and obviously the layer. The layer is again the annotation text. Layer polyline. Polyline is just the elevation. Elevation it is. There are some that are not on 0, so let's place it not as 0. And wipeouts. Wipeouts. Oh, well, we don't have any wipeouts here. Attribute definitions. Okay, this one, I'm pretty sure that this will need to put the annotation text as the layer, and the style should be Romans 0.125, and spline again. Oh well, you cannot check it. This is on the 0 elevation. Okay, that's it for these properties. Okay, now as you can see, the details that we are working on are a little bit different already from the original ones. As we keep moving, I want to show you why it is important to have the two details. So what I'm going to do now is go to the, if you don't have this option, I like to do it that one. And on this low arrow, there's an option that says show menu bar. That opens this the menu bar. So I like to use from the view viewports and place two viewports. And I want that the two viewports are accommodated vertically. So that splits my screen, and now I can start working on the first detail. That is going to be this, and second one. And I mean the original one, where I can compare in case that I broke something, some visualization, so I can start working on this. But now, as part of the modification of the details, I need to get rid of all the things that we don't require, like this, all the title block that this drawing was coming with. So I don't need that, but I need to be working on every single detail as an individual. Maybe because the DFD delivered this drawing, I don't know if all these details needs to be in the same sheet, but what I think is better, and is an approach that we can modify, or we can later talk about what is the best approach. But I will say that the best approach to this is to every detail have it separately, and in case that is needed or not, we can modify it accordingly. So in this case, I'm going to start with the first one, just because I believe that is the best approach. And I'm going to move it to a place where I can start working with it. I will place it right here. I know that the name and this information is not needed for this, unless maybe this one could be needed, but I'm not going to keep it for now. Later we can discuss if we could place or not that information on this kind of details. What I'm going to place and bring is this block that I already have, and this one has some fields that later we can manipulate. So now what I'm going to do is to place it more or less right there. And usually there is another thing that I like to do. First, as I'm looking to this, I can see that something is weird with this multilayer. Okay, it's not a multilayer. Okay, these are all explored multilayers, and that is not good. Yeah, this is not good. The multilayers were explored, so, and because we want to have these details as part of a database, so yeah, we have to put together those as well. The point of this CAD details is to have them prepared and manipulated in a way that we understand how these are manipulated, and we can manipulate them later easier. So what I'm going to do for this one is I have the original here, so I can delete all of this. All of this explored multilayers and text. I can leave this one and this one. These are just labels. I will say this is highware return. Highware, well, I don't know what is this acronym for, what this acronym stands for. So what I'm going to make sure is that, because I'm going to recreate all the text that we're looking with the appropriate multiletter style MLS. I'm going to press that. This dialog box is going to appear, and we have only two different multiletters, and I'm going to be using the DFD underscore normal one. So set current, close, then press MLS, enter, oh sorry, MLD, and then place it around here and type isolation valve. Is a typical, right? Okay, that is one. But I don't want to be working or be typing all the text. So what I'm going to do is edit, select all, copy, and then just bring the multiletter, select a point where I think is fine, paste the text, and there you go. For this, it's going to be more difficult. Let me show you a trick that I will do for this. This I can convert, because these are three objects, text. So this is usually when you have this kind of results of these three objects as a result of an explosion of a multi-letter, multi-text. So I'm going to convert them back. So how do I do that? I press TXT2 MTXT. There you go. Then select them. There you go. I can edit them, copy, and make a. I'm going to make a multiletter. Select where it is pointing. That is right here at the middle, and then let me see more like this. Where more or less it's going to be here. Paste it. Oh, it didn't copy, so let me do it again. Select all, copy, edit this one, paste it. CAD. There you go. So that's a second one. Okay. I'm going to finish, and I'll see you. I'm going to finish this, and I'll see you once that is done. Okay. I fixed the alt text with multiletters. Now every single one of these are multiletters. And I forgot to mention once that we place the title blocks, that is called BLN, view name DFD. We need to update the name, and the name of this is this one here. So let's don't fit into radiation in detail. This detail is more for MEP, and this is an example. Well, maybe we don't need to do all of this, but again, this is just an example so we can manipulate all the details that we require. So then I will move the detail more or less to the place that I do believe is in a center space. Then I'm going to bring one of these objects, one of these blocks. This block is called is the DFD border, and as I mentioned in a civil meeting, I think this one has the different sizes that DFD has. So if you select one from this snap, you will the geometry of this block will update automatically. So it's pretty convenient. So in this case, I think I'm going to choose the smallest one because I think this drawing could fit into a letter size. Yes, it fits. Okay, so there is only one more thing and I think is really important. It's really important for the displaying of the correct displaying of the lines. And what I mean by that is, for example, I want, because I don't really know exactly what is the importance of this detail, but I will assume that the blue lines are the, the, the lines that require to be bolder, to be more black, and this representation of a radiator, I think. I will say that those lines needs to be thinner, and well, that is really important to represent the with a bolder way, a bolder display, the objects that you think are more representative of the detail that you are putting together. So what I'm going to do now is select all these lines. I'm going to select this line that I am assuming this is the it is drawn in a layer. So I'm going to isolate the layer. I have a shortcut for that. That is AS. That is light isolate. And I'm going to select them in properties. There are different layers that I want you to take a look. Let me bring that here. Using this layer as the boulder, the most boulder. It has a 0.7 line weight. This is millimeters. And the bold is 0.5 millimeters. The medium bold is 0.35 and so on. The thinner is 0.13 millimeters. And that's the most thin line. So using this as a guide for you to put the lines in the appropriate layer that you consider. And this has a great advantage. For example, if we have this detail fixed or manipulated in the way that we know how it's going to be displayed. And remember, sorry, I forgot to mention this, but these line weights are definitions are based on the DFD.ctv file. That file, you can find it right here on the print dialog box. This is the DFD.ctv, and that document file, but it has is all the colors, they represent a certain line weight. So, for example, let me click on this icon here, and on this dialog box, you can see, for example, color number 1, that is red. Its width is 0.35. And let me see in my table, this one, the red color is 0.35. Well, for this specific example, is going to be working. But if we fix these details and we like the way that it is explained, later it's going to be pretty easy to update the layers according to whatever CTD that we are putting together, or no, that we are using. Because I don't know, maybe we are working for a specific company that they require to be using a specific CTD, and we have to follow in this table colors. So I will show you later how to fix that if we use another CTD. But it's really convenient. That is the importance of these CAD detail standards, because if we put together all of this with the specific properties, we can do maintenance pretty easily. Okay, I'm going to cancel this one, and let me just tell you, because I want to this be really bold, but not that bold. I'm going to use this one, that layer for the blue ones. So I'm going to select the L, and it's going to be medium bold. Okay, obviously, because I am in the currently I am in the light isolation of that layer, and because I changed those objects into another layer, those will disappear. Now I'm going to undo the isolation of that layer, and that command is light uniso, as you can see here, light uniso. Well, now these are red. I'm going to do the same for this one. This and this. No, I select but this one. Okay, let me show you another tip that I like. If you hold the left click on the mouse, you can be using, I think it's called the window selection or crossing. No, this is the window selection. The crossing selection is the other one, the one that has a green background. So now I selected all those objects. I'm going to change those to a more thinner line. So that is going to be the thin layer. So that's it. And just to make sure, using this DFD CTD, let's see how it looks. Yeah, look, this looks way thicker than this one, and supposedly because this is because it has a lot of line works, it needs to be thinner to represent correctly. So yeah, I think it's okay. This text I use for that text, for title and subtitles, I'm using the text that DFD put in its website, and I think it's called DFD text something. Let me find that. This is, yeah, it's DFD. This text is called DFD text styles dot shx. Oh, it's just for your reference. So yeah, that is the way that you put together as a detail. It is it is too the line type scale. It is too small or too big. This property line type scale. Usually it should be in the 1, but if for any reason it's not working, you can start messing with this, playing with small numbers or bigger numbers until you get the desired scale for that line type. Another thing that we have to consider, remember this is an 8.5 by 11 paper size, a letter paper size. And if you measure it, if you measure from here to here, it's going to be 8.5. The vertical dimension is going to be 11. So if I draw a rectangle around this, let me put it a little bit closer to here. You can see that this detail, you can see the dimension of that detail. Remember, right now, the way that we talk about how to put together the details is in the model space, and we will have to place them just to modify it and apply some properties. So we copy and paste them in paper space. So that's the way that we should be working. If I measure this distance from here to here is 7.5 almost inches. So in a paper size that is going to be, I don't know, like one of the biggest ones, like 24 by 36 inches. This detail should be measuring what I'm just told you about. That is going to be almost 7.5 inches by 5 inches. So just and that will, I think, is pretty helpful, so you can understand how to place how big this detail needs to be given the importance. It's not the same, for example, a pond and the representation of the cross section of that pond compared with the pavement section. Pavement section should be pretty small. It could fit in a smaller area, or maybe a pond, because it needs a lot of details about the pipes that comes in, or the pipes that leave the pond, or the structure. That detail needs to be larger and occupy more area in that paper size, 24 by 36. So remember that when you are working on details, it's good to have an understanding of what you are doing, so you can play later when you have that in advantage. So it's better for you to know how well or how bad that detail could be represented later. Okay, that's it for this, but I will show later in another video how to change the scales